What was the last thing you remembered?
My phone rang and there was a sound.
It's time to kill.
Pull the trigger.
So what, you're saying that I was brainwashed?
Yes.
Why would someone do this to me?
Because you are an alpha.
I'm a what?
An alpha. The human brain is amazing if you consider what people can do, particularly the people I work with. Alphas, extraordinary individuals who've learned to stretch the capabilities of the human mind.
You got a problem?
Alphas deals with the nuances of 5 individuals that have really heightened ability that you might have in your everyday life, except ours is times 1,000. So we're just a band of ordinary individuals with extraordinary abilities.
Rachel, what do you hear?
He's running past a cafe.
Heading into an alley 3 blocks north.
As a unit, we're sort of like the dream team, if you will.
You have a neurological difference, but you are not alone. Everyone on this unit is just like you, Cameron. They are all alphas.
They form this group, and they go around trying to solve these mysterious crimes that the FBI or the CIA just can't seem to crack.
So we're kind of a team for neurological eccentricity.
The shooter was here, Dr. Rosen, facing east towards police headquarters.
These characters are led by Dr. Rosen, who both treats them and helps them to understand their abilities.
Your hyperkinesis, it's a delicate instrument. And when it falls out of tune, it crashes. All alpha skills come with a downside, Ken.
He's someone who gets us through the end of the day, but also helps us maintain our powers, and so they don't spiral out of control.
We're moving to a whole new line of work here. You can't hire amateurs for this type of deal.
I'm actually jotting this down as we speak. It's, it's very constructive.
You know what? You're using that shrink voice again.
What voice is that?
If you keep doing that, I'm going to hang up on you.
Are you anxious about this operation, or is it something else? He's sort of in a rock and a hard place, because when he puts one of his alphas into a potentially life-threatening situation, and yet he wants to keep them safe. He cares about them deeply. You think I'd put these people in danger on your word alone, Don? My team is at risk. You know what you need to know.
No one's really sure what his full motive is.
His association with a higher authority, it sometimes comes in collision with his own compassion and passion for these people.
NSA says this isn't one of their usual suspects. Doesn't look natural. If an alpha is causing these riots, you need to find him for us.
They don't know that they're being brought in as a potential SWAT team member.
Who are you with exactly?
We can't tell you, but we can do things that we're not supposed to talk about. And that's why we can solve this.
We all have these special abilities. Nina is this very intelligent, extremely competent kind of girl.
I need a list of your current guests on the 6th floor.
I'm gonna need a search warrant.
Look, here's my search warrant right here.
Let me get that information for you.
And she has this ability to reprogram people's brains into doing whatever she wants. She can get whatever she wants.
Can you do me a favor and take your glasses off? Take this ticket and eat it.
My alpha ability is the ability to flood my body with adrenaline, which allows me to activate my fight-or-flight mechanism. My character is the only one that has any sort of formal background in law enforcement or investigation, and there are times when he has to sort of take charge of the group. You leave a crime scene to go get a cup of coffee.
No, I brought you a donut, but they ran out.
You think that's funny, don't you? This is real life. Let me tell you something. You learn to follow rules, right? You were a Marine?
Now you know why I'm a civilian.
Gary can read telecommunication wavelengths and electromagnetic wavelengths. He's high-functioning autistic, and if there's a computer signal or a cell phone signal, he can see it and he can read it. And Dr. Rosen has helped me develop a grid system whereby I can now kind of control and manipulate and just sift through the different channels.
How are we doing?
Gary's tracking it. We're close.
It's there. It's there. It's here. Coming from the 6th floor.
You sure?
Yes.
I'm going to put the team in place and move in.
Rachel is the synesthesis. Zach Penn!
Synesthesia, Azita, which means that her senses are crossed. But basically, because her senses are crossed, they're greatly enhanced.
We didn't actually get a fingerprint off the bullet casing, but I did manage to pull some biological residue, traces of citrus rind, and an enzyme found only in Caucasians of Northern European ancestry. But when she uses any one of the abilities, the other ability dims. So she's constantly put in harm's way.
Rachel, out now. Rachel, copy. Get out. Rachel, out of there now. Rachel.
Cameron Hicks, he has hyperkinesis, which is perfect balance, perfect dexterity, a perfect connection between the mind and the body. He can do things and see things differently than most people. He can take a golf ball and bounce it off 4 walls and have it hit a dead bullseye.
You do me a favor and buy me a soda, but to do it from here?
No. He doesn't understand his own abilities. He doesn't really believe other people's abilities. So as funny as it is, I think his skepticism is what helps the viewer have it rooted in something that they're figuring out each week.
The fun thing with this group is together we're able to be extraordinary.
This is like a real job. I'm on call.
If it's any consolation, you now have an excellent health plan. Well, usually when people think of superheroes, they think of people who can fly, who can go through walls, fantastical comic book characters. Alphas possess plausible conditions.
Something's off.
You don't think he knew what he was doing?
Controlling the will of another mind is not a new trick. Hypnotists, charismatics, religious leaders, all of them manipulate the neural structure of the brain to get their desired results, not to mention our very own Nina here.
It's less about us being glossy and putting on capes and going out and solving these crimes or saving the world and doing all of these things. It's more about the struggles that we deal with by having these abilities.
You can't appear desperate despite your condition.
Mom, I'm better now. Dr. Rosen's really helped.
Then all the more reason to meet a man while you're healthy.
You make it sound like I have some sort of a disease. Mom, I'm fine.
We worry. That's what parents do. Besides, you don't want to stay single the rest of your life.
To me, the most exciting part is the intersection of these people with amazing abilities with the mundane aspects of their real life. And people who share an office the same way we all do, who get in fights with their coworkers about who took their lunch and parking spots. The jobs that they do require them to get in a car and drive to the scene. They don't have a jet that's underneath their office that flies up when they need to fly someplace.
Does anybody have any change for the meter?
Nina.
Take some change. Nina, can you get inside the room? Stupid question.
Those are the things that are missing from the kind of more over-the-top superhero stories.
We're dealing with naturalistic situations, real people, amateur heroes, as opposed to people who set out to be heroes.
We have an urgent matter, Rachel. Well, watch this. This is where it gets interesting.
Mr. Tell us more.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's really interesting.
It's a fun show. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be a part of it. You know, there's stunts involved. There's humorous moments.
Keep trying her. I'm going in.
I'm on it.
Smooth move.
Again?
Alphas is about to change the whole landscape of television.
It's potentially really exciting and very engaging.
Stop! Gary, any luck with the signal?
The whole case was a setup from the very beginning. You have barely scratched the surface of what you are capable of.
Alphas, an original series. Mondays at 10, premiering July 11th. Presented with limited commercial interruption by Verizon. Only on Sci-Fi. Imagine greater.